Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are taking notes today on Unit 2, Lesson 2, Translations. My sound has went out twice now, so this is the third time I'm trying it. So I'm really hoping that you can hear me and that it records everything, but I don't even see a pause button at this point. Oh, it's down there, so it looks like we're good. Translation. So what are translations? Translations are a transformation in the coordinate plane that slides a figure. So like slide to the left, slide to the right. That's what a translation does. It also slides it up and down, but there's not a song for that. As always, when you're sliding, whether you're dancing or you're transforming an image, the figure stays the same. You don't change who you are just because you slide to the left or slide to the right. That doesn't magically make you change size or anything like that. So it always results in congruent figures, letting me know that you are listening to me and not only just seeing what's being written down. I would like for you to put a star next to Unit 2, just so that I know that we're all on the same page together and that you have your earbuds on. All right. It says that I'm still recording. It says that we're still good. So I'm going to go ahead and open this foldable that we're given. And we're going to do translations from a graph. Okay, remember you can always pause this if I'm going a little too fast. The goal is for you to sort of set your own speed at home. Okay, so example 1. We have triangle HJK. Before I get any further with triangle HJK, I would like to write down the coordinates of HJK. So I'm just going to do that off to the side so I have some space. Remember to find that ordered pair, you always start at the origin. You start at 0, 0, and then you just count. Since I'm going to the left for H, that's going to be a negative number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That ordered pair is going to be a negative 5, and then since I went up, it's going to be a positive 5. The next one is J. Again, start the origin. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That one's at negative 4, 8. And K is at 1, 3. And the first thing I always want to do is write down those ordered pairs so I can have those accurate. Then it says, graph the image of the triangle after a translation 5 units to the right and 2 units down. Okay, 5 units to the right and 2 units down. All I'm going to do is take each ordered pair that I have and count 5 units right and 2 down. So I'm going to start with K and just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Got my new ordered pair. I put a apostrophe with the K. That's called K prime. That lets me know that that's the new K, not the old one. We're going to do the same thing with the other two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right and 2 down. It's right here. That's H. It's the new H, so it has an apostrophe, H prime. Same thing with J. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. J prime. We connect our dots the best we can. We use a ruler if we're awesome. Borders forgot her ruler, so she's not so awesome. But that's what we got. And the two triangles should be congruent. They should look the exact same size and the exact same shape. Last step is to write our new ordered pairs. Remember, they've got the apostrophes because they're the new ones. Those are our H prime, J prime, K prime. And then I find my new ordered pairs. H is at 0, 3. K is at 6, 1. Went out of order, sorry about that. And J is at 1, 6. Okay. We're also going to start to notice patterns. Since I went 5 to the right, I added 5 to each of these numbers. So negative 5 plus 5 is 0. Negative 4 plus 5 is 1. 1 plus 5 is 6. So we're starting to see more patterns than just counting. Sometimes we won't always have a graph. Okay? That's example 1. Example 2. We have a quadrilateral this time, so we're going to go ahead and label A, B, C, and D. A is at negative 1, 3. B is at 3, 4. So it says that I'm recording and that you can hear me, so hopefully that's true. And since I went down, it's a negative 4. And then D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. 5, negative 3. Awesome. So I have those original coordinates. Then it says graph the image of the quadrilateral after translation 3 units left and 4 up. 3 left and 4 up. So same thing, I'm just going to count 3 to the left and 4 up and put my new 4. Put my new ordered pair. Remember it gets an apostrophe because it's showing that it's the new C. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. The new D. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. The new B. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And notice when I'm counting, I count right on the crosses, right on the intersections of the different points. That way I'm counting accurately. I don't want to count any spaces. You want to count line to line. And then we'll get our new ordered pairs for A prime, B prime, C prime, and D prime. A prime, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 is at negative 4, 7. Notice I went 3 to the left, so I subtracted 3 from negative 1. Negative 4, since I went 4 up, 3 plus 4 is 7. Hopefully we're starting to see some of those patterns. E prime is at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 is at 0, 8. C prime is at negative 2, 0. And D prime is at 2, 1. Okay? That is all of our shapes using graphs. There is a second way that you can do translations. We did from a graph already. You can also do it using algebra. Okay? You can also do it during algebra. So in example 3, it says that we have triangles DEF, and then we're doing a translation 7 units left and 3 down. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to write down our coordinates, D, E, and F. D is at 3, 1, E is at 5, 6, and F is at 5, negative 1. My rule, if I'm going 7 to the left and 3 down, my rule is X minus 7, because I went to the left, so I'm going more negative. And then my down would be my Y minus 3, because I'm moving that Y in a negative direction. So that's going to be my rule. So for D, to solve for it, I'm going to have to do 3 minus 7, get a number, and then do 1 minus 3. So my coordinates for D prime, 3 minus 7 is a negative 4, and 1 minus 3 is a negative 2. And then I would be finished with it. Okay, it's not asking me to graph it, it's just asking me to use this rule. So I just kind of have to look at the words and remember that if I'm moving to the left, it's going to get more negative. If I'm moving to the right, it would get more positive. If I'm moving down, it's going to make it more negative. If I'm moving up, it's making it more positive. Okay, so let's do the same thing with E. Just plugging in my X first. 5, I'm always subtracting 7 in this problem. Then I look at my Y, 6. In this one I'm subtracting 3. So E prime, 5 minus 7 is a negative 2. And 6 minus 3 is 3. Same thing for the last one. My X minus 7. So in this case, 5 minus 7. And then negative 1 minus 3. F prime's coordinates. 5 minus 7 is a negative 2. Negative 1 minus 3 more is a negative 4. Okay, so a couple things I'm going to add down here at the bottom, just as a couple little reminders, is that my x-coordinate is my left and my right. My x-coordinate is my left or right, and I'm going to subtract when I'm going left. It's probably a weird shadow. And I'm going to add when I'm going to the right. That's my x-coordinate. Then with my y-coordinate, that controls my up or down. Controls my up or down. I'm going to add when I'm going up, and I'm going to subtract when I'm going down. Those are just a couple of rules that I want you to remember in case you're solving it using algebra. Okay? Those are really important to make sure you have those down. I would probably circle them or highlight them or something to make them stand out a little bit because they're really important. Okay? And then our last one we're going to do together is example 4. Quadrilateral MNPQ has vertices -2, 1, N3, 1, P2, -2, and Q, -3, -2. It's asking you to find the vertices after a translation 3 units right and 6 units up. So the first thing we do, always, is write down our original coordinates. M, N, P, and Q. M is at -2, +1. N is at 3, 1. P is at 2, -2. And Q is at -3, -2. Well, now I need to establish my rule. My right, remember that controls my x-coordinate. So since I'm going to the right, I'm going to be adding, and then it tells me that I'm going 3 units right. So it's going to be x plus 3 this time. And then my y, since I'm going up, I'm going to be adding, and in this case I'll be adding 6. Okay, and I got that rule because remember my right controls my x's and my up controls my y. So I'm just going to plug in my different x's first. -2 plus 3, because every time I'm going to be adding 3 to my x. Same thing here, 3 plus 3, 2 plus 3, go to the commas after it, and then -3 plus 3. So every time for my x-coordinates, and this time since I'm moving 3 units right, I'm going to add 3. Then since I'm moving 6 up, I'm going to take my original y-coordinate and add 6 to it. 1 plus 6, 1 plus 6 again, -2 plus 6, and -2 plus 6. They don't always repeat, but sometimes they do. And then I can get my new coordinate by doing some math. -2 plus 3 is a +1. 1 plus 6 is 7. So M prime would be at 1, 7. Sorry, one more crooked. N prime, 3 plus 3 is a +6. 1 plus 6 is a +7. P prime, 2 plus 3 is at 5. -2 plus 6 is at 4. And our last one, Q prime, -3 plus 3 is 0, and -2 plus 6 is 4. And those are our notes on translation. Those are our notes on translation. If you have any questions, make sure that you ask your teacher so we can get those answered as quickly as possible. Sometimes you'll be solving it from a graph, and sometimes you'll be solving it using algebra. Just depends on what you're being asked to do. Nice job.